let's do what we do, man. Shake your hands. Everything is okay. Welcome back to Eddie B TV. I'm, of course, Eddie B. Nice to see y'all. And we are back at you again today with another reaction video. And Friday, one more again here. Wonderful Friday. And on Friday, I try to give like something that I think will be good or something that'll be great or something that'll be so funny to the point of no return. And hopefully I got this one today. We're gonna get into some more Dave Chappelle. And I haven't, I think I've only done one Dave Chappelle. Wow, how about that? Thought I might have done maybe one or two more than that, but man, time goes by. Sometimes you gotta really go back into the past to figure out what you've done so far. But yeah, we're gonna get into this one now. I'm a little bit confused by this one, only because I haven't seen it yet, but I just keep trying to get some, because I heard Dave Chappelle had a couple other specials out. Now, a special to me is something an hour or longer, but sometimes I can get fooled and not even realize that there's something else out there. So we're gonna get into some Dave Chappelle, like I said, and this one is gonna be called "This Industry is a Monster, Unforgiven." Now, I looked this up and I kept thinking that maybe this was just one clip out of a whole special, right? But it turns out this actually is the special, if you want to call it a special. But it is it's a spot from Dave Chappelle, and it's about 18 minutes long. That's why I thought it was just one clip, but maybe because it's longer than just a typical bit you might find on YouTube, it's 18 and a half minutes, so maybe this might be the whole deal. So yeah, I want to know what he's talking about with this one. This industry, meaning the entertainment industry, I'm imagining he's saying, is a monster. And I've heard many people say this in different ways about the entertainment world, show business, Hollywood, whatever you want to say about it. And they always have a different story in mind when they talk about this issue. So Dave Chappelle's talking about it, that means he must have some deep, dark stories from his past or something like that, or maybe it has something to do with something you might be going through right now. I don't know, but let's figure it out. So one more time, this is Dave Chappelle. This industry is a monster, unforgiven. And if you like this reaction, please like, comment, and subscribe to your boy. Keep everything going. And yeah, let's get on into this one, man. Wonderful Friday. Had to get into a GOAT like Dave Chappelle. And hopefully this one is really a piece of material showing just that. So let's get into it. Dave Chappelle with "This Industry is a Monster," right here on Eddie B TV. Wonderful Friday. Thank y'all for being down with me one more time. Let's go. My ears, man.
All right, here's the story. I started doing stand-up comedy when I was 14. I'll never forget the first time I was on stage. The guy that introduced me was a guy named J.T. Newton. I'm 47. I can close my eyes and remember the introduction like it was yesterday. It went like this. Ladies and gentlemen, this next young man coming to the stage is starting his comedy career tonight. Who knows? We may be witnessing the birth of a star. Please welcome David Chappelle.
Messed up his name. Chappelle.
From the first time that I ever held a microphone, I was sure this was it. I knew I was home. I knew I had found my thing. And my God, man, I was a child. I got good. Matter of fact, I was good from the moment I started. And I'm not saying this to be a braggart. I'm telling you the truth. These old niggas was in awe of me. How is this little boy so poised? They used to say. I was. I mean, you know, I got better, but it started out good. About a year into it, when I was 15 years old, I had written a joke during the AIDS epidemic about having a Goodyear condom. Something, I don't even remember the joke. Something about an industrial strength condom by Goodyear. I just remember all the comedians really liked that joke.
Yeah.
And there was an older comedian. And he came to me one night after the show, after he saw the joke, and he said, listen, I got an audition at another comedy club, and I was wondering, do you mind if I do that joke? I just want to borrow it. Now, I'm a kid. I don't know any better. I'm like, borrow it? Well, I guess, sure, if it'll help your career. I let him do the joke. And then weeks later, I was waiting to go on in a comedy club, and he went on before me, and he did the joke. And after the show, I pulled him aside and I said, hey, man, I don't mind you borrowing my jokes, but you gotta give them back. He said, oh, I forgot to ask you. He goes, let me buy that joke from you for $50. And I said, man, I'd do it, but I'm just starting out. I need all the material I can get. The idea being that the more material I can accumulate, the faster I'll be able to make money for my work. I said, I can't do it. I want my joke back. I'll never forget this. Remember, I was a 15-year-old child. This guy was a grown-ass man. He stood up over me so I could see how big he was. And he said to me, really? I can just take it. And he did. I got scared because I was a child. But I never forgot that. I never forgot that. I was 15 years old. I'm 47 now. I think about this guy all the time. When I look at my own kids and I see how young and innocent they are, I can't believe someone did that to me. And I don't think about it every day because that was the worst thing that happened to me. I think about it every day because that was the first time that someone ever did that to me. But in my career, it has happened many, many times since, where someone would intimidate me or scare me and take something that I believe was mine. I'll tell you another story. Now I'm 18 years old. I'm living in New York City, and I just finished my first road tour, which was a very difficult tour. I'll spare you the details. Now I'm back in New York, but my rent is paid, thank God. And I have $60 to my name, and a woman that I had met in Pittsburgh, a bad Dominican bitch.
All right. Dominican.
Was coming to New York. She was gonna spend the weekend with me. I couldn't wait for her to get there. She was coming that evening. But remember, I only had $60 for a whole weekend to entertain a bad bitch. Now I'm walking through Greenwich Village, and I see something I've never seen before. 3-card monte. You know what that is? Mm-hmm. Yeah, the guy had the whole thing. The table was set up, and he had the 3 cards, and the crowd was hooting and hollering, and he was like, find the red card, find the red card, and people were playing. Sometimes they win, sometimes they lose, but it was really exciting, and I'm standing there watching it, and I noticed while I'm watching them play this game that the red card, the one you're trying to find, had just a little bend on the corner. And I'm watching it, and I'm like, yo, this guy doesn't seem to know that red card is bent. I'm gonna beat this motherfucker. And I walked up to the table, and I said, let me play a hand. And I put my last $60 on that table, and he starts to shuffle and find the red card, find the red card. And I kept watching that bent card go around the table, make sure I kept my eyes on that bent card. And when he stopped shuffling, and he said, find the red card, I pointed to it with confidence. Here it is right here. And he flipped it over, and it was black. And he took my money. I couldn't fucking believe that. How did this nigga do that? Was that magic or sorcery? I was confused. So you know what I did? I sat there and I watched him for a real long time play the game. And I realized that all those people who was doing all that hooting and hollering and betting, my God, they were his friends. They were in on the whole thing. I felt so wronged. I felt so stupid. And then the next sucker came up to the table and was about to put his money down. And I said, fuck that, man. Don't put your money there. All these niggas is in on it. It's a trick. And when I said that, the guy that was dealing, and this motherfucker was huge, snatched me up by my collar. Feel how strong he was when he grabbed me. I was a skinny little guy. And he was gonna maul me. And the only reason he didn't, I'm sure, is because he saw the fear in my face. And that fear, he looked at me. I saw his eyes go from hard to soft. He softened. Then he looked at me like the way a father would look at a child. And he said to me, young man, don't ever come between a man and his meal. I never forgot that either. Most niggas would have to run the streets for years to learn a lesson that profound. It took me 2 seconds. Never get between somebody and their paper. Taking a man's livelihood away from him is akin to killing him. Do you know why Prince, the famous rock star that was a friend of mine, do you know why he called himself the artist when he came back? He calls himself the artist because that's what they call us in our contracts. Oh, these contracts are crazy.
I didn't know that.
You should hear the terminology they say in these contracts. To use your name and likeness in perpetuity throughout the universe. Who the fuck could possibly know what that means?
I wouldn't have known.
Nobody does. It's so complicated, in fact, that when you're a kid like me, you have to hire somebody to tell you what that means. And you sit down at a table and you do the contract game. And that's how I got with Comedy Central. I signed the contract. But I signed the contract the way that a 28-year-old expectant father that was broke signs a contract. I was desperate. I needed a way out. And it wasn't good money and it wasn't good circumstances. But what else am I going to do, I said. And all these white people sitting at that table told me, trust us, Dave, it's a good contract. And I looked around the table and they all seemed to agree it was a good contract. But what if it was like that game of 3-card monte? What if they were all friends and I didn't know it? And the bag of money was Iceberg's money in the first place. What was I talking about? What was I trying to tell you? Last week, 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, I call Lauren Michaels and I tell him, okay, I'll do it. I'll do Saturday Night Live on election night. And the day I made that phone call, the day I committed to it, it gets announced that Netflix is streaming Chappelle's show.
Wow.
Not just Netflix. HBO Max is streaming it too. Let me tell you another story about HBO. No, hear me out. Did you know, before Chappelle's show was at Comedy Central, I pitched that show to HBO. I told them what I wanted to do. Now, these are executives. All they have to do is say, yeah, we'll take it, or no, thank you, we won't. But they didn't say either of those things. They went too far. They said, literally, what do we need you for? That's what they told me, as they kicked me out of the office. What do we need you for? And here we are, all these years later, and they're streaming the very show that I was pitching to them. So I'm asking them, what do you need me for?
Wow, man. I did not know this, man.
People think I made a lot of money for Chappelle's show. When I left that show, I never got paid. They didn't have to pay me because I signed the contract. But is that right? I found out that these people were streaming my work and they never had to ask me or they never had to tell me. Perfectly legal because I signed the contract. But is that right? I didn't think so either. That's why I like working for Netflix. I like working for Netflix because when all those bad things happened to me, that company didn't even exist.
That's true.
And when I found out they were streaming Chappelle's show, I was furious. How could they not know? So you know what I did? I called them and I told them that this makes me feel bad. And do you want to know what they did? They agreed that they would take it off their platform just so I could feel better. That's why I fuck with Netflix, because they paid me my money, they do what they say they're gonna do, and they went above and beyond what you could expect from a businessman. They did something just because they thought that I might think that they were wrong. And I do. I think if you are fucking streaming that show, you're fencing stolen goods. They stole that from me. They just took it. And I'm not up here trying to tell you guys that I believe that Comedy Central gave me a raw deal just because I'm black. I believe that they gave me a raw deal because this fucking industry is a monster. It's the same monster that these Me Too bitches was trying to tell you about. But they hate the monster for how it fucks. And I hate that monster for how it eats. But my God, man, it's the same monster. When I quit the show, all my friends would say, well, fuck them, Dave. Why don't you just do Chappelle's show at another network? Yeah. And why doesn't a slave run from one plantation to another plantation? Because the master over there might be nicer. My God, man, I was trapped. You know what? Tell you the truth. Tell you the truth. I've even thought about coming back and doing another Chappelle show. Well, but if I do, I can't call it Chappelle's show because my name and likeness is being used by them in perpetuity throughout the universe. It's in the contract. You're not supposed to do this in my business. I'm up here doing something that nobody else in this business has the balls to do. I'm telling you something that you need to know. I'm trying to explain to you what you're seeing. You don't understand what you're seeing. I am publicly flogging a network. And I know that this network niggas, they watching me and they saying, why are you doing this so publicly? Doesn't feel good to be flogged publicly. Oh, believe me, I know. I know exactly how that feels. When I quit my show, they said I was crazy. What was crazy about it? I just didn't want to do it anymore. They said I smoked crack. That's impossible. I was a devout Muslim. I didn't smoke or drink. But I do now, bitch, because you ruined my fucking life. Now it's their turn. This is their first nigga lesson, and I'm honored to give it to them. They're gonna pay me for this show. I called my agent. I said, is there anything I can do about this show? And he said, no. Well, fuck you too then. If you want something done right, I guess you gotta do it yourself. So I'm not going to the agents. I'm coming to my real boss. I'm coming to you. I'm begging you. If you ever liked me, if you ever think there was anything worthwhile about me, I'm begging you, please don't watch that show. I'm not asking you to boycott any network. Boycott me. Boycott Chappelle's show. Do not watch it unless they pay me. If you're a shareholder at Viacom, then I'm talking to you. Because all that shit that they do to us, well, they do everything for their shareholders. That's what they told me. So if you're a shareholder in that company, tell them it's wrong. And if you don't believe that it's wrong, then fuck you too. You should know what's in the hot dogs you eat.
Yeah.
Now, there's probably a bunch of people at Comedy Central and Viacom and all these places that have no idea what I'm talking about. They've all either quit or been fired or got Me Too'd or something. Them niggas is gone. And there's a whole bunch of new young people there, and they're probably looking like, what is he talking about? They may not actually know what the fuck happened to me. So I'll tell you what I'm talking about. Go downstairs to your accounting department, open the books, see what that show made, and look at what you paid me. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You're going to pay me. I am inviting you to come with me and work with me. And let's fight against that terrible, terrible feeling that you made me feel together. We can fight together and work this thing with Chappelle Show out. Or I can just take it. Thank you.
And there is the end. Well, hey, I did not expect that, man. You know, I didn't expect that at all. But who knows? Maybe later on I can look at this as a pleasant surprise. You know, I said it was Wonderful Friday, and I'm here for a bit that's going to make us laugh like crazy. And you know, we ran into this. You know, I did not know this was what he was going to say, man. And hearing all that, it just kind of makes me really look back at everything that transpired. Now, I'll give you a little bit of history about me, personality-wise. I don't know what to really feel or think about anything crazy that happens in the world, other than to just respond to it with my own brain and just go like, "Ooh, that was crazy. Ooh, that's exciting. Ooh, wow, that sounds like fun." Or, you know, I don't really have a sophisticated opinion on things that go on in the world. I just say the first thing that comes to my mind because it's how I feel, you know? And a lot of times that doesn't rub people the right way, and hence why all my life I've always been looked at as a goofy, funny guy. Because I'm like, everyone's just looking like, is he being serious? Is he just trying to be funny? Did he not know it doesn't work out like that? And I was just like, if you only knew. So I don't know exactly what to feel about what he said just now. You know, it's just, I imagine there's a lot of people out there who are very, very talented, you know, that don't have the guts and don't have the, you know, the strength, mental and emotional strength to actually push through the nonsense to achieve their dreams, you know what I mean, or what they're passionate, or what they're really skilled at, you know, because of a lot of things like this that are being said, you know. I mean, I know I feel that way, you know. If I ever felt like I was talented at anything, I've always been very, very hesitant to take it to the next level because of all the things that I hear that go on, you know. And that's not saying that I was bound for fame or nothing like that. I'm not saying nothing like that. But I'm saying it contributed to me not giving a damn. I became very apathetic about things that people said I was very talented about or talented with, you know. And I was like, I don't care anymore, because if it turns out that I can't do what I'm doing that got me to this point, then it really doesn't make it fun anymore. It doesn't really make it a passion anymore. And it doesn't make me feel like I have really anything to contribute, not just to you guys, but myself, you know, and making myself feel happy about my choices. But, you know, to hear all that was very crazy, because I didn't realize that's what he went through in its entirety. I didn't realize that. I know a couple of things. You know, I knew about the people scrutinizing him and saying that he was doing things that everyone in their right mind believed he wasn't doing. But I didn't realize the extent of it, you know, the legal matters and this and that. I was like, you know what? That's cold how they can look down on you like you nothing when no one knows you. But then you blow up and you make it big, and then all of a sudden like, ugh, let's see if we can slide our way in and steal some millions out of this whole thing. That's some cold-blooded shit, man. And I don't really know how to feel about that other than how he feels, you know, but I'm not him, so I can't feel exactly how he feels. But, you know, when I hear people say certain things, man, I remember I was watching a Vlad TV interview one time with T.K. Kirkland on there. And then, you know, his way of looking at it was, you know, innovative. I'm not gonna say he's wrong, but what he said was pretty much, if somebody's stealing something from you, it's your fault because of you don't have, I'm paraphrasing, maybe I might be a little bit wrong about some things, but something to the effect of him saying, if you get things stolen from you, it's your fault because you don't own your stuff. And on one hand, that is true, but at the same time, you know, it's just basic human decency. Ooh, did I really just say that? Basic human decency. We don't have that. So expecting people to screw you over is something that you have to train yourself to understand. You know, understand it up here and here, you know, and hopefully it doesn't get you here, you know. But I don't really, that's just crazy, man. You know, I love Chappelle's show. I bought the DVDs, man, and I've had them in my possession ever since I got them, you know, same ones and everything. I watch it all the time when I want those laughs from back then, because the show never stopped being funny. But to know that we're in the streaming world now and everything is done online, to know that there's a way that people can steal from you like that, you know, and it really bothers me to hear the stories about how corporations and executives like steal money from you because they prey on the fact that you're ignorant to certain things in contracts. Wow, you know, that's just another level of insane. You know, insane to the point where you're like, your thievery is so insane that it should be a different crime, you know what I mean? Like, what is it called? Like emperor larceny or something like that? Oh man, that's just crazy, man. King larceny, whatever. Call it what it is. But you know, Dave Chappelle, man, he said he started at 14 years old and he found his calling at that young. Now, I could say that I found it too, but I just never really pushed forward with it. I never really learned as much as I should have, you know, and I didn't get what I wanted to get done because I would rather just enjoy it amongst my circle of people who I love, you know, and let it expand that way than to do it any other way, you know. And some people enjoy what I do. Other people detest what I do. Other people just, you know, get like half in and half out, you know, and it's cool, it's fun, you know. That's what I'm doing with this right here with y'all, you know. It's just a way of putting myself out there a little bit more because I'm a very shy individual. Can you tell? Yeah, can you tell? Very much am. You know, the artist thing and the contracts, when we were talking about Prince, I didn't realize that either. I mean, maybe because I'm not understanding everything that's being said. If you guys know, leave some scripture for me in the comments, man. Let me know what I'm not hearing. But it's like, what was the significance of saying I'm the artist formerly known as Prince? You know what I mean? Like, did that help him money-wise? Did it help with, you know, something that had to do with copyright? I don't know. But anything that you guys might know about that, school me on that, because like I said, I need to know things. I want to know things. And I heard all of that, and then it just made me go like, wow, I did not realize this was the deal. And know that he didn't do any kind of smoking or drinking back then, you know, and then he does now because of what happened to him. I'd be like, damn, that's quite intense, man. And I didn't realize that's really what it was all about. And as it turns out, there's a couple other little skits like this that I'm going to get to. That I'm going to get to. And I was investigating, looking for something for Dave Chappelle to watch here. And there's a couple other things, you know. And one of them I know just by the title, because you don't forget numbers, is like 8 minutes and something seconds about George Floyd, you know. Yeah, I just said we don't forget numbers here. I am forgetting numbers. But yeah, I gotta watch that one. And that'll be in the future at some time. But you know what? I didn't expect this, man. I thought there was gonna be a lot more laughs, you know, but I did laugh because he did sneak in some jokes in there. But he told a really long story, man. And I didn't realize this is what was gonna happen, but entertaining and very informative nonetheless. And I'm glad I watched this one, man, because I told y'all a million times I want to learn new things. I want to try to absorb it. I want to try to understand it. And I want to try to put it into practice in my everyday life, should it, you know, apply to me at all, you know? And this one here was really crazy, man. It's just like, pay attention more to what's going on. Let's learn a little bit more. Let's not let people easily screw us over, because, you know, it is our fault at the end of the day, but at the same time, it's also their fault that they want to take advantage of people this way. You know, instead of schooling them and making the best and helping the people with the best outcome possible, they pocket a whole bunch of money, man, and they make your life a living hell, and they make decisions that affect you negatively, and it's just horrible, man. Very horrible. But you know what, Dave Chappelle, man, not only is he a brilliant comedian, but I'm imagining he's a brilliant man when he puts his mind to something. I mean, hence what he's saying here in this video, man, because everything he said, man, was all informative, educational, and you still managed to sneak in a couple of laughs, man. I mean, like, how do you get better than that, you know? Dave Chappelle is at the top now, man. He's right there with the greats now. Because I don't look at one person as the great in comedy. I mean, if you have reached that level of great, you are there with all the greats. There is no number one, there's just greats. That's what I feel in my heart. You right up there with George Carlin, Richard Pryor, you know what I mean, Bill Hicks, you know what I mean, Sam Kinnison's, you know, and it's just all up there, man. Chris Rock, all of them guys, man, because it's like, how could you really not be great if you provided the world with laughs, information, and comfort in ways that you can't really get from other genres, you know, in the entertainment world. You know, you can get it from music in different ways. You can get it from your TV and your movies and you know, and all that stuff. And it's just crazy, man. But yeah, I'm yakking too much, right? This video is already 18 minutes long. I don't even know where I'm at right now. So yeah, one more time. Dave Chappelle with "This Industry is a Monster." Did I say that right? Let me see that one more time. Yeah, "This Industry is a Monster" from Unforgiven. You know, I guess the Unforgiven, this whole thing was just a little special. But yeah, Dave Chappelle, "This Industry is a Monster" from Unforgiven. And if you like that reaction, please like, comment, and subscribe to your boy. Keep everything going, like I always say. And yeah, man, that was a very crazy way to end stand-up for the week, man. I didn't expect this, like I said, but at the same time, I'm glad what I got, man, because I got something that I didn't even bargain for. And really, I like being surprised sometimes, you know what I mean? You know, when it comes to not something that's popping out of the corner trying to kill me or nothing. I just like being surprised with these sort of visuals and hearing great things. All right, this is gonna be Eddie B TV signing off. One more getting here. Another week of stand-up going, and glad y'all tuned in with me for another week of it. You know, and hopefully y'all continue to tune in, man, because I'm having a lot of fun with this, you know, and hopefully it just gets bigger and bigger, man. And it only happens because of y'all. So yeah, love and appreciate y'all. Peace.